This is an 87. This thing only has 9,000 miles on the cluster. Found the original owner's manual. It only has one date on there, which is 850 miles. I think it's written on it.
We're two hitchhikers. We met while hiking Mount Baldy with mutual friends, wasted no time, got engaged on a frozen alpine lake, got hitched, and have been adventuring together since. We're embarking on a new adventure of living big in a tiny home. Let's see how this goes.
Adventure awaits.
Well, last night we got down to 25, so another sub-freezing all night long. Actually, it was sub-freezing until maybe around 8:30 this morning when it started to heat up. But it's nice and cozy with the wood stove inside, and if we need to heat things up very quickly, we can always turn on the mini split. So that is a nice convenience for us to have, but there's nothing like the wood burning stove. Now, the day is warmed up, obviously. I'm in a short sleeve shirt here, and we are getting a little bit more gravel delivered today for our road. So we have it wrapping around and going over there, and it's a little bit difficult to tell, but the road has a slight angle to it. So it's higher here than it is down there in the pasture. So as we get rain and runoff, it all kind of goes down this direction. So we don't plan to necessarily make the road as wide with the rock as you can see the flanking sides with the dirt or the gravel, excuse me. But what we want to avoid is water actually building up here on the high end of our road. So we are getting more gravel delivered and placed here on the upper ledge. And then we're getting this done on the entire length of our road driveway. We still don't know what we're calling this at this point. And we're expecting more precipitation this weekend. So if that's the case, that's perfect because that will help the gravel to settle in. Then we can get the roller to come out here and flatten everything out because although we've been driving on it, we have this high spot in the center of the road. Again, see if I can do this backwards. And we try to roll over it with our tires, but there's only so much we can do without squishing down the pasture, which we don't want to compact that anymore. So anyway, we need a roller to come out here and do this. But before we do that, we want to get this part filled in. And then hopefully we do get that rain this weekend and the roller can come out and we might be close to having this complete for the winter. The plan is for much future, assuming this settles down over these cold months, and then possibly next summer, we will get road base to come in and fill in the gaps, and that'll make it much smoother. But right now, it's still a bit rocky. It's not great to walk on, but it's okay to drive on. So walking will be a bit different. We're going to fill in some of the gravel spots over closer to the house, but that will be with smaller pieces of rock rather than this 3-inch. So yeah, more exciting stuff. It's those weird things that you just do not think about when you're buying a piece of property of how long is the road and how much dust is going to kick up for us and how many ruts are we going to create and how many times are we going to get stuck in the mud. How often can I run across this and not get liquid spilled in my lap from the cup of coffee or water that I'm holding or the bucket I'm trying to transport? You get the picture. It's a lot more than we bargained for. But here we are, finally getting a little bit of a solution to that hiccup. So once again, it might be a little bit tough to tell, but we laid the gravel on here quite a bit thicker because this is where the ground starts to really slope down before it hits the regular pasture portion. And this is where we would get the major ruts because the water would just pull up here and we would get just the mud would just hang out here. And we would always slip and slide coming through here with any vehicle. And in fact, this is exactly where Ruben's big truck got stuck. So the gravel is being laid on here extra thick. And then, yeah, it should just even all out once we come through with the big roller. Another week has quickly gone by. It's been a week of sub-freezing temperatures, quite a bit of frost at night, a lot of wind, some rain, and some warm days. We hit, I think, 38 early this morning, and we kind of took it easy inside, enjoyed the chilly morning, and now it's warming up already. Short sleeves. So last week we didn't get as far as we wanted to with chipping wood because this sort of decided it needed some TLC. So Ruben had to get a carburetor. It came in the mail yesterday and he has fixed that and now is doing some fine tuning. Is that correct?
Yep.
And I got started on more of the splitting of wood. So I'll probably end up continuing to do that until we get to more wood chipping because yeah, just we need the wood and we're enjoying the mini wood stove now.
I am tapping a hole for the idle adjustment screw that was not in the carburetor, so I can adjust the idle while it's running. Well, I don't know if it looks like much to you, but it does to us, and this area looks a lot cleaner as well. So we're leaving a lot of this here because it's just going to give back to making better soil around here, but this is also going to help us with compost and garden bed cover, mulch, etc. So it's just feels good to finally get this done. I would say we have maybe about 5 inches if we flatten everything out. I tried to go through and put some cardboard to block it because as you can see right here, it's getting caught up in between the pallet boards, but it's all right. Bonfire? Bonfire. All right, so this wonderful Dodge that we have gotten, it's running really funky. When you try to floor it, it just dies. And I'm finding a lot of things out of adjustment.
lockup gap so that would be in spec because it was touching before. It's not supposed to touch. It's supposed to have 6,000th of an inch gap. And so that's what I'm putting in. Hopefully it stays at that because this is my second time doing it, and for some reason it doesn't want to stay. So far very good. All right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we're not getting a bonfire tonight, but it's a beautiful sunset. We just went for a walk.
So annoying.
What'd you find?
Well, I set the ignition timing and everything's exactly where it's supposed to be, but it's still falling on its face when you get on the throttle. And what happens is the carburetor's out of adjustment, and to adjust it, you have to have access to the mixture screws. Carburetors have a fast idle screw and then an air mixture screw. And so these were plugged. So this means that this carburetor, A, is original, B, has never been adjusted ever. So yeah, this truck is amazing how original it is. I bet you these belts are original, man. Hey. But yeah, it's amazing. I've never touched a virgin carburetor before. This is amazing. But annoying because I had to get to the adjustment screws without taking the carburetor off. Got it!
You got it?
Yeah.
So it shouldn't die when I'm taking off.
No, it's no longer going to die.
So tomorrow will be the test.
Yeah, tomorrow is the test.
And just for the record, it never died on me. I just always took off very, very slowly. I was nervous about it dying on me, which is why I tended to not drive it. Well, this is the morning test drive that we're going on in our old Dodge pickup that Ruben was working on last night on our very ungraded rocky road. Oh, this is a rocky road.
This is very
we'll call this Rocky Road Lane. And as you can see, there's a bit of work to be done in here, but so far we're loving it. And the heater's on, the heater works.
Works great.
And we do have luxuries in here. One luxury Ruben told me about this morning.
Yes,
a cigarette lighter. Woo! So we can charge
And
our
windshield
phones.
wipers.
Oh yeah, windshield wipers
And
at work.
seatbelts.
Seatbelts. We don't have hazard lights though.
No, we do not have hazard lights. This is before they cared.
What do we have there?
This is our AC right here. This is what directs the air to come in, and this is what directs the air to come out.
Yeah.
My Ram wants to run away. He's pointed in the wrong direction.
It's like, look at the light over there, how the sun is hitting those hills. Am I crawling in the window too?
This is so annoying.
Well, here.
Old truck problems.
What's happening?
This is too involved. We're just gonna have to go home.
Okay. Well, that door doesn't work, or can't unlock it, so I'm crawling in. And the windshield wipers don't work. So, hopefully I can get this window to roll up.
Alright.
Okay. Will it start? All right, we're getting home.
We're winning. Thank you, Lowell, for the break in the weather so I could actually put this together.
Made it home safely.
Yeah, with no windshield wipers, a passenger side door that won't open, and a little engine noise that goes wheel, 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 wheel. I don't know what it is, everybody. I'll figure it out. You.
It's budging.
Do it again.
Is this coat hanger time?
No. All right.
I'm gonna put this up here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're home.
Yes, we are. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be lining this up to the middle, and then I need you to put a white dot in the back of this on the other side. Can you dig it?
I can try.
All right. And I just put that right there. And then Bob's arm. Wipe down the area. Making sure that it's super clean. Make sure this is super clean. Sure that any of the doodads or the who-its or stuff like that.
The who's its and what's its go on.
Yeah, pretty much, man. You got a clean, decent dot right there. Is you have the small side pointed up, not pointed down like I did earlier. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just letting it do its thing, point it up again before I forget, and then slidering and bam. I can't even twist it. It is firmly on there.
Like a minute or less.
Ta-da! All right, so as you guys were privy to before, the door was locked and not able to unlock. And what I
found that out the hard way.
I know, right? But what was cool is that these old trucks, they can be fixed with basically a spoon and a screwdriver, which is amazing because that's what I used to take this off and this off. And once I took those things off, I was able to pull this panel off while the door was still closed. And once I was able to open the door, I was able to go in through this little trapdoor thingamadere right here. That's technical term right there, tingamadere. And literally just pull on the rod to unlock this latch. And then, ta-da! So this car, as I tear into it and start cleaning things and fixing things, I am finding papers of 1988, 89, and all of a sudden 2015. Like, it has a huge gap in between junk that you would find in
It's an
there.
86?
This is an 87.
87, okay.
Built in 86, sold in 87. So it's an 87. But this thing only has 9,000 miles on the cluster. The fact that the carburetor has never been mechanically adjusted, and the fact that I found the original owner's manual, which is awesome, and it only has one date on there, which is 850 miles, I think, if I'm not mistaken. what's written on it. It's February 11th, 1988. And let's see if they wrote any maintenance on here. That's the number that I saw. I thought that was the 800 miles, but it was just the 88. Sometimes they write in the maintenance log. Ooh, it is there writing? Here it is. Tire rotation. Tire rotation at 13,000 miles in 1988. How is that 13,000 when it has 9 right there? So that means we have 109,000 miles then. Because for this to have 13,000 on there in 88, that basically puts me at 109,000 miles. Yeah. So yeah, here I am thinking I'm all privileged to this wonderful truck that's only 9,000 miles, but I got something that says 13 right here. So that means they had to have rolled over. But still, for something this clean to be in this shape, we're truly blessed because this thing's awesome. So, our windshield wipers are no longer free rolling. They are now connected to the windshield wiper motor. What happened is it's old plastic, very, very old plastic. And there's a little plastic bushing that gave up the ghost while we were driving. So I was able to fabricate a rubber bushing and put it in, and it's working for now, but I'm basically gonna buy the new stuff that required to fix it right. But for now, we could drive it in the winter and everything's cool. But yeah, this truck's awesome. I love it.
Me too.
You gotta set it to Natasha levels. There you go. I can see the bed, but if you sit in it, you're gonna be able to see out the window.
I'll be like, all I see is sky. She's so confused right now.
How so?
Because she gets to be up here near the food.
Oh, yeah. They really love over there.
Clover's growing really. You know, it's just the two of them. It's just the mama and the baby now.
Yeah.
I think the biggest size I counted last week was 8 or 9 of them total.
Well, as you saw, the Dodge does not have 9,000 miles on it. In fact, it has 109,000 miles on it. However, that's still pretty good considering this truck is nearly 40 years old. It was sitting for some time, but now that it's in Ruben's hands, we know it's going to be just fine after he tinkers with it here and there. In fact, we've been needing a pickup for a long time, and this is going to be a great work truck for us. Well, family, that wraps up this week's update. The chilly weather has arrived and we are ready for it. We're eager to have that rock leveled out for us, so check back next week to see updates about that. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week. One final test.
One final test. I'll take it. I'll take it.